Hey everybody, welcome to Funny Side Up, the Funny Side Up cast. It's your host, Will, Big Boss Will, whatever you want to call me. We're back to the norm again, second week in a row, right? Last week, it was just me and you again, ain't that right, Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird not actually having a guest. So used to it after it happened twice, which, I mean, at that point was like half of our episodes.
Yeah. For now, it's been because they're our friends, but like in the future, we're going to resort to picking up random people off the street to interview.
Yeah. No, that would be cool. I'm not getting any audio in my headphones, but I don't know exactly why.
I'll just cut this part out.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'm an editing wizard, so.
Yeah, I got it now. It was one of the knobs.
Knobs.
Yeah, but
Knob head.
yeah, so we really didn't know where we would start tonight.
Yeah.
As we really never do. We just kind of jump into it, but
yeah, we have a vague outline and everything else just flows.
And I mean that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean
we're being too meta again.
There are some podcasts who
Hey, weather in SoCal's been pretty nice. It's supposed to get a little rough again, but
yeah, it's been alternating a whole lot. Very cold to very warm. No reason.
That's what's been causing the really bad storms.
Yeah.
It's the transfer from winter to summer. We completely skipped spring.
Yeah.
All the pollen came in at once. And I usually have really, really bad allergies. Not at all this year.
Yeah.
Not a single bit, but my mom and grandmother have both been like fucked up with it bad.
Yeah.
My mom said she's been doubling up on her allergy medicine. And you know what I think it was? My mom made the comment. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. The thrift store. The thrift store built my immunity because I was around dust all the time.
Yeah.
And I was always sneezing and I was always having to deal with such a high level that all this pollen ain't shit to me.
Yeah. I don't know. My brother doesn't drive a whole lot and he took his car to a wash, but I mean, that thing was covered in pollen. Like,
if I didn't park up under a carport, my truck would be yellow.
Yeah.
Like bad. Sometimes I don't park under the carport, and like there were 2 days and it was bad. And when it rains, shit covers it again.
Yeah.
But I started my new job today. I've been training all week. I'm CPR certified, so
yeah. It took you one day.
It took me 1 day to get CPR certified, and yeah, it usually takes like a class.
Yeah.
But now if anyone ever, goes down.
Yeah, you'll do the bystander effect and you won't do shit.
I found out today I work really good under stress.
Really? Why don't you elaborate on that?
I will elaborate. So yeah, like I said, HIPAA, a policy put in place by I was talking to Jackson about this earlier.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton in 96. I remember because some lady said it in class. HIPAA was in place. So people at work, they'll tell stories. So people tell ER stories.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain you're just not allowed to mention legal name. Not allowed to like let anyone know anything specific, like personal details. That is what it protects.
Yeah, and you're gonna be dancing this line very finely all tonight.
Which that's the thing. I believe it's a very defined line.
Yeah.
Seeing as it was my first day and everything, I don't want to take any risks. So
yeah, no, I mean that's good. It's just I think a lot of people just wouldn't even bother. They just be like,
yeah,
nah.
So, yeah, I respect people no matter what they do to me or anyone else.
It's getting personal.
Yeah. I respect everyone. I try and respect everyone.
Yeah.
So I started in the ER. It's an extension of the ER where if anyone is like psychiatric or such, we have rooms that we monitor them in and such.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, I had a few rough individuals. Had several really good individuals today. One individual came in, was immediately non-compliant, wouldn't do anything we said, so we had to get our lead, who was a big dude. he listened to him then. He wouldn't sit in his bed or what be it, and he's just sitting at the door.
Yeah, you bring the muscle over and
Yeah, he listened. And then he did not move for a couple hours. And he got up, started walking to the door, and after having to deal with him earlier, we knew something was about to go down. So one fellow was like, "Hey, stay in your room." He's like, "You can't make me." And he's like, "Hey, don't cross that line where that door is." He stepped out. I stepped over. I was like, "Hey, we'll call Big Man back up here. He'll handle you."
you sound like a bunch of goons.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, I'll listen. And he walked back. I don't even think he got back to his bed. He turned back around and walked out. He's like, "You know what? Go ahead, call him." And I was like, "We already did. He's on his way." He's like, "I don't care." And so he like walked out and he was kind of like jumping and stuff. He was doing this weird like jumping thing.
Yeah.
And he just turned around and started walking out. And he couldn't make it far because there are locked doors that he would have to get through first. So me and my coworker followed him. We were telling him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I put my hand on his shoulder. He kept walking. Coworker proceeds to try to wrap him up, which is protocol. He didn't get a good grab on him, so guy gets out and swings a punch at him, which I didn't. From my angle, I was standing behind him. My coworker ended up in front of him, in good range of a punch. Guy like almost completely missed him. I saw later on the footage. And as soon as he threw that punch, he took another step to the guy, and I immediately wrapped my arms around him and like blocked my
old hug.
Yeah. I was telling someone, if I can get my arms around you and grab my wrist, like it's hard for me to break a grip.
Yeah.
There was one time years ago where there was like a dodgeball or something.
Mm-hmm.
You ever play like break the egg on a trampoline?
Yeah.
Where you wrap around a ball?
Yeah.
I did that to a ball one time, and there were like I had like 4 dudes trying to like rip the ball from me, and if I get in that like fetal position and wrapped, I can like lock my muscles, and like you can't move me. So that's how I got around this guy. And we had one guy who was already kind of walking back. He was in the main ER. He turned around, grabbed the dude by like a part of his arm that was either under where I grabbed him, because I grabbed him basically at the elbow line.
Yeah.
And the other guy grabbed his head essentially, and we were walking him back. And by that time, our lead came, big fella. The guy he threw the punch at, I was like, hey, big man's got him. We were walking, got him to the room, ended up having to put him in restraints. But my friend or my coworker who had the punch thrown at him had to go, and he was gone for an hour. Like took a smoke break, called some people, vented.
Yeah.
We didn't end up having to do like an incident report, but my lead did. And so it was a whole big thing. It was an altercation, so like we had to report it and everything.
Day one,
my very first day that wasn't actually training, I was shadowing, and I did a lot. Same fella. He was like laughing like loud like the Joker, like cackling. Whenever he first came in, he stopped at a certain point.
Did he say, what does the Joker say?
We live in a society.
Oh yeah.
He didn't say that. But ended up, I had to hold a plastic urinal, which is just a cup with a handle on it. Had to pull his pants down later. Had to let him pee in it. Ended up seeing his penis, which I now work in a medical facility, so it'll be normal, especially with like psychiatric patients. I'll be seeing a lot of nude people.
Yeah. I was going to kickstart the story by saying the number of penises you saw today is non-zero.
Yeah, non-zero.
Sure as hell ain't negative.
It was the same dude's penis twice, because he's like, "Hey, I got to pee again," and it was less than an hour later.
Yeah.
He's like, "I've been drinking a lot of fluids," and he hadn't. But yeah. So very interesting first day. Also had I had 2 other really interesting patients, but he was the most interesting. And then I had 3 really good patients. Very, very calm, very,
Yeah.
just very, it was surprisingly enjoyable. And yeah, I found out in a, a stressful situation, I respond very well. Coming down off of the adrenaline rush of that, I was like, having to fan myself and like all sorts of shit. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it was crazy. But I mean, I'm definitely able bodied, and I was able to hold them mostly by myself. But yeah, that's how my first day working psych ER went.
Yeah.
Which I think any psych patient that gets brought in gets they go there and then will get moved up to like a psych floor or what be it. But there's something else I was gonna say.
You know, the most interesting thing I can say about my first day working the thrift store is that I ate tuna out of the bag.
Out of the oh yeah, dude, I love the fucking bagged tuna.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was there with my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and like, he was like, "I'm gonna go get lunch," and I'm like, "Okay." He comes back with fucking bagged tuna.
It's
And then-
good. The little pouches.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Okay," and then he just takes out a plastic fork, starts eating it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is this normal?"
That's just protein. That's
Yeah, no,
straight protein.
I got used to it. It was not bad, but it's like, I was shocked to say the least. I was like, because the break room didn't have like anything actual. Like, if you wanted like a plate or a fork, you had to buy those things,
Yeah.
which that surprised me. I was like, thought this was like a job.
Wait,
know?
are you talking about from the break room?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
What do you mean?
Who told you had to buy those?
Well, not that you have to buy them per se, but like they're sure as hell not going to provide any.
Oh, there were some in there.
There's like there was some stuff, but like a lot of it was open and bug problems.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't comfortable with that, but like, no, it's not like. Best I can recall, there was like silverware. I do remember that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember any plates or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't know about plates.
But yeah, no, I was just surprised as soon as that started.
So, moving from my very interesting first day.
Yeah.
Speaking of firsts, your first time on the internet, your first experiences, what all does that entail? You know, my thoughts on the very early days of the internet. Well, when I was young and my parents were still married,
Yeah.
my dad would come in late. I want to say he worked for like he ran a truck a lot, and then I think at one point he would work postal, and he wouldn't come in until late. And I would like get out of bed. I might have been like in my mom's bed or something. I don't know. I was waiting, and when I would hear my dad would get back, and I have vague memories of this. I don't exactly remember staying up late, but I do remember the point where I would stay up and he would play WoW on his computer,
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. And I would be on my mom's computer. I'd either sit in his lap while he played WoW, or I would be on my mom's computer. And I remember having like a little CD-ROM, like one of the small CDs.
Mhm.
Kind of looked like a GameCube
Yeah.
game, that size. Of Spider-Man, the original one. I don't know, for PC.
Yeah.
And I remember playing it at this would have been like 2 or 3 a.m. and I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That was my first like PC gaming days. But then I didn't really have much experience because we were poor. My mom had a computer, but like
Yeah.
she would listen to like I remember she listened to Gwen Stefani's Sweet Escape, which is interesting because I'm a pretty big Gwen Stefani fan now.
Yeah.
I love No Doubt. Her ska band.
Yes.
But I also remember her playing like Beyonce maybe, and
Fucking Lady Gaga.
probably it would have been around the time. But yeah, I remember that, like her listening to that music and stuff. And then it was a little while later I became really good friends with this guy that he works at the theater now. I met him in elementary school. I would go to his house and he showed me like mini clip.
Yeah.
I don't think Fancy Pants.
Yeah.
You ever play Fancy Pants?
Yeah.
I think that might have been in like Armor Games or something.
Yeah.
He showed me all those websites and I got into those real big. I think I found Congregate before I found Newgrounds.
Yeah, I did too.
I remember in 3rd grade, one of my friends I graduated with, we were better friends in about 3rd grade. He told me about Me and Dad, or Dad and Me.
Yeah.
Great fucking game.
Yeah, weird ass Newgrounds game.
Yeah. Did Tom Fulp make that? Because whoever did the art for Castle Crashers definitely did that art.
Yeah, it has just that Newgrounds style, you know.
But like the character body shapes are like almost the exact same, if I remember, from like kind of boxy-ish.
Yeah.
And then the dad looks like the Castle Crashers characters when they eat the sandwich or the manwich, and they get big and bulky.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've played Dad and Me. Haven't played Castle Crashers. I own it and I've never played it once. But
What do you own it on?
Steam.
Okay, I will buy it and we should play through it. It's so fucking good.
I think I own it. I could be totally fucking. It could just not even be on Steam.
It is.
Okay. But yeah, yeah, I have a big Steam library, you know. So like,
yeah.
if someone just mentions some random ass game,
You
there's like a
probably
50-50
have
chance I have it.
Jackson, how many games do you have in your Steam library?
$6.99.
And how much is your Steam account worth?
Should I be disclosing that information? It's
I mean,
like $9,500.
It's personal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, $9,500.
Shit. I mean, if your brother's account got hacked, but
Yeah, but
I think that was a freak accident.
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy that Steam didn't handle that any better than they did.
Yeah, no, it's like
Colton plays a lot of TF2.
Mhm.
Probably his favorite game.
He's got like over 1,100 hours in it.
Mm-hmm. And he had at least a couple hundred worth of items, right?
Yeah, in his inventory.
And he got hacked by, well, the IPN or whatever, or not, the IPN of the where he got logged in from was near Moscow.
Yeah, he was in Moscow.
Which that could easily be like a VPN locating it in Moscow, right?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, his account got into, and the dude took pretty much every item.
Everything worth something.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's like items that are worth like 8 cents.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And everything Colton had worked for in his Steam library got snatched one day.
Yeah, that was like...
It was near Christmas, if not on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And like that was rough on him.
Yeah.
Bad.
That was the year before last. And he had been building up he started playing TF2 with me in like November of 2016. And we first started like buying items on the Manco store like a month after that. So that's almost exactly
2 years. No, that would have been 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years
worth of
trading and buying,
earning things in game.
Yeah.
That's like the most fucked up thing that's happened to anyone I know with their Steam. And Steam was like, yeah, we can't really do much.
Yeah, I was like, it's not our problem.
Yeah. And
the weird thing is he had the mobile authenticator.
Yeah.
Like he took every precaution that you can take owning a Steam account, short of working at Valve.
Yeah.
And
they didn't do anything about it. They're like, yeah, sucks, but it happens.
Yeah, and that sucks a lot because as far as like AAA studios go, Valve is generally pretty good with their fans.
Yeah.
It's not like EA or Rockstar, who Rockstar is well with their fans, just not their employees. EA is fucking horrible on all fronts.
Yeah, EA fucking sucks.
Yeah. And there's plenty others. Ubisoft, but
more like Boobisoft. Boobies are soft though.
Yeah. Valve is generally pretty good to like everyone involved. I hear it is great to work there generally. I'm sure some people have bad experiences, but generally it's a good place to work. And they do very well by their fans. They have sales all the fucking time on Steam. And there's no other company I would rather have running Steam because that is the premier PC gaming platform. Yeah,
Epic Games is somewhat coming up, but like...
Yeah, I make it a point to not claim any free game on Epic. I want nothing to do with Epic.
Yeah, that's fair. Like that's customer loyalty, and I think Steam has a lot of that. Yeah. Steam has loyal fans because they're a good system.
Yeah, and I think it's important to acknowledge, I'm not saying no one can ever step up to Valve. I think having competitors is great.
Yeah, because they've got the market pretty closed.
Yeah, Valve is doing a good job of holding that number one position and not being dicks about it. But there's nothing forcing them to be that way.
Yeah, they're honest almost.
Yeah.
Like in most cases.
Yeah, one day Gabe Newell's gonna die, and then it's all gonna go to hell.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they're real good about having sales. They're real good about you're putting a game on Steam, so you know how their revenue works.
Yeah.
How would you like say the revenue is? Like splits for game makers and stuff.
Yeah, it's
like how much of a cut do they take?
I believe it is 70% until you make so much, and then it's 75. It's pretty reasonable. That's how much you keep. I mean,
okay. They take 20 until a certain point, and then they take 25. No, they take 20.
They take more once you make.
They take
more.
30. They take 25 and then they take 30.
I did not mean to convolute this that much.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they take 25 until you make a certain much, and then they take 30%.
Or 25. 20 and then 25.
No. 30 then 25. Because you said 70 and then.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. It's 20 and then 25.
Okay. I got you now.
God damn.
It's all good. But yeah, so like that's not a lot. I think I heard that Epic may take like 40%.
It may not be that much. I think that would be kind of unreasonable. I think if it's like an Epic exclusive or something, the splits may be different, but because they are paying you a lot up front just to have your game be an exclusive.
Yeah.
But like being an Epic exclusive is shooting yourself in the foot hard unless you think your game is just going to flop.
Yeah.
Because
Steam, you can make so much money.
Yeah, exactly. Like
especially if you're putting out a like quality product.
Yeah. Like even if your game is terrible, day one, you're probably going to get 10 to 15 sales.
Yeah.
Like you're probably going to make, if your game's $1, then whatever. But like if your game is somewhat sizable,
say like $30.
Not even $30, $10.
Mm-hmm.
If it's $10, you sell, we'll say 15 copies, you will make your money back.
Yeah. And
then actually once you sell $1,000 worth of your game, then you get recouped the initial cost of even putting it on there.
Yeah.
So you're down $0.
You're up all that, and they take in $1,000.
They would take 20%. It's not until like a pretty high figure that they start taking more.
Yeah, but by then you're already like
you've already made it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like refinancing your house to make your game like Studio Moldenhauer did to Cuphead.
Oh, I didn't know that. There was a guy that did a Kickstarter or something to make a game, and then ended up like paying off his house or something with the. That's the shitty thing about Kickstarters. You can run with the money. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah, turn on flexible funding, so even if you don't make your goal, you still get all that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should make a Kickstarter for the podcast and then run with the money and just do the podcast the same.
We could buy all sorts of quality of life upgrades that are just like really nice things to put in your house.
We could buy a house.
Yeah. That's the podcast house.
Yeah. It's
me living deductible there. Too.
Huh?
Mark it as a deductible.
Yeah.
It's a business expense.
Yeah. Hey, bought a house. Deduct all of it. Give me that money back, government.
You just don't pay taxes for like 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started back at the gym, which is a really good thing because of what I'll probably be doing at the hospital.
Yeah, I did 18 push-ups last night.
Yeah, and it had you turned. I found out I can bench 145, which
I can bench 146.
Uh-huh. I can squat 1,000.
Oh yeah, you know what I can squat?
What?
1,001.
Damn.
Yeah. But no, I am definitely the lankier, skinnier one of us.
Yeah, I am there's a dude that's in Ethan's podcast, or not podcast, his stream chat, that he always calls me beefy because on one stream, anytime we would win or lose a Rocket League game, we would do a set amount of like push-ups, sit-ups, and squats.
Yeah.
Just to like add a little level to the stream. And Ethan would like cut the camera to like the Discord.
Yeah.
And people were loving it. It was pretty fun. I got a really good workout.
I want to go ahead and just say, I was playing Wingman with Ethan last night, and we were just starting to come back. We were doing good.
Yeah.
And Caleb, this asshole, redeems flip your keyboard and mouse upside down.
To Ethan?
Yes.
Fuck Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb is awesome. I love Caleb, but like that's
the score was 4-0 and we just pulled it up to 4-2. And then he pulls that and we ended up winning, but that's because I carried hard.
Yeah.
But still, man, it's like,
how would Ethan play with his keyboard upside down?
Dude, he was trying to shoot the dude, and he was taking the silencer off, like looking at the dude, because the right mouse button's on the left now.
Swapped. Dude, that time that I like took the silencer off and like, did I put it back on and kill the dude?
You didn't. You were just taking it off while he was like firing at you, just looking at him.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
I don't think he hit me. He might have hit me a little.
Hit you a few times.
Yeah, but
you were like about to die.
I was on 1 HP. Yeah.
I was yelling at you. I was like, "Oh my God, Will!"
Yeah.
Just quick swap.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just flexing, and I am not a good CS:GO player. Like I actually have my dates. I have my games specifically.
Yeah.
If I'm in the right mindset, for some reason I play like, I wouldn't say flawlessly, but like regarding some of my off games, I play like shit.
Translation for that is, if the other team doesn't know how to counter a Negev, then Will wins.
Oh, I am a fucking king with a Negev. Like on Lake, I got I got several really long shots with the Negev. Like, it impressed you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've seen some really, really talented players that can like get running headshots with the AK that just don't know how to deal with a Negev because no one ever uses it.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate surprise weapon.
Yeah.
Like, cause like,
is it an uncommon weapon to be used?
Yeah, most people. I mean, I probably see one person using it every 3 games,
and I'll use it maybe every other game. Like,
probably every game.
Yeah, it's definitely my most used weapon or most reliable.
At least in Wingman, I never see anyone else using it.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
In comp, you'll see like CTs using it to hold points or whatever. But yeah,
I would attack with it.
I never told my early internet day story.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we got off on a tangent, but I definitely wanted to continue with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dad and Me is what introduced me to Newgrounds.
Yeah.
But I didn't stay on Newgrounds. I didn't revisit it. I didn't go in depth. I probably would have been a much different dude had I explored Newgrounds.
Newgrounds changes a person.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like still developing as a kid.
Especially like developing on the internet too.
Yeah.
I think it would have been really healthy for me to have, like strangely healthy for me to have been on there
it's
bit
a really
more.
Creative place. I think that's like the best part of it.
Yeah.
Is that like you can do some weird off the wall shit and then like people will actually care about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a amazing community.
Yeah.
I want you to tell your early stories, and then I want you to tell your big Newgrounds story. But go ahead with your early days.
Yeah. So in the beginning, there was Mario. Yeah, I was a big Mario fan for really no reason. Dressed up as Mario for Halloween when I was a little baby. Won a costume contest with my brother. It was pretty cool. But then, like, I had dial-up until I was 7.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
By the way, that's 2010. I am not that old.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I had dial-up. Me and my brother would look up Mario Flash games. There's this one website, it was like mymariogames.com or some bullshit like that, and I would load up a game and go watch TV for 30 minutes while I downloaded it on my 64 kilobit dial-up modem, come back and just hope to God that it was a good game. Not that I would have known any better then, but there was that. I think I ended up finding Addicting Games.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot about Addicting Games.
Yeah.
Good website.
I never played Miniclip.
Really?
Yeah.
I played Miniclip a bit. I think there was a game called Commando, but I don't think it was like... It was similar. I definitely played Addicting Games.
There was this game called Highway Pursuit, which, going back to it when I was a lot older, they stole like every gun and sound effect from Counter-Strike.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so I played that a lot. That was good fun. I ended up finding Congregate somehow.
I don't know how I found it either, but I just did.
I wandered in there. They have chat rooms. They did. I don't know if they do anymore.
I don't know.
They don't accept HTML games even anymore.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they only accept mobile games now. They're a mobile publisher.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Mobile is shit.
But yeah, first of all, I really wanted to be a developer even when I was like 8.
Yeah.
So I did this bullshit of downloading Mortal Kombat ROMs and changing the extension to .swf and trying to upload it. And then I was like, why is it just a black screen?
Yeah.
And that's because
take my Swift files.
Yeah, it's a Sega Genesis game. It's not gonna fucking run in a browser, you goober.
Yeah.
But I did that. I was in some chat room and I said I was 8, and of course
everyone, hey, boxers or briefs.
Yeah. I said I was 8, and then some admin, like a literal admin from Kong, was like, my name was like Jack Plays Game or some stupid shit like that. I was like, or he was like, Jack, you said you're 8? And I was like, yes, in all lowercase, because I was 8.
Yes. That's essentially what happened.
And then I blink, and then it's just like, your account has been banned.
Did you have to be like 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made another account.
Hi, I'm 13.
I think I came back later and I was like, hey, it's me, Jack Plays Game. It's like 1 week later. Wasn't an admin on.
Admin wasn't on, yeah.
Yeah, I never got banned on that. I'm not going to say the name of that account because it is still up and it still has old cringy bullshit on it. Very, very young humor from a little tiny baby me.
Yeah.
But
I didn't do much uploading to the internet when I was young.
I tried. God, did I try. I followed some tutorial with Stencil, which is like a really shitty game engine.
Mm-hmm.
And
you never did Flash or anything?
It was technically Flash. It was like drag and drop programming, but it exported to ActionScript.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did all that. It came with templates to make games, and I literally opened the template and then exported that and uploaded it. And in the description, I was like, if you want a sequel, donate 200 creds or something like that. And then this dude commented like 200 creds, not a chance in hell. And I like started arguing with this dude, trying to justify why I deserved money on this thing that I did not make.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hope no one looks that up.
Yeah.
Because then you would find my account. But anyway.
So,
yeah.
Tell your big Newgrounds story.
My big Newgrounds story. So, I had been working on, I'll call it a mod from now on, Vestavia Hills 1, because it basically was a mod. I want to go ahead and clarify that, I guess, because I programmed Vestavia Hills 1 from the ground up. I wrote every single line of code on my own, but almost every bit of art was stolen. Everything that wasn't was either simple UI elements that I did or art by my brother. So I made all that. I spent months making it, probably like 3 months.
Yeah, definitely. It was 3 months.
Yeah. And then I started sharing it around. I put it on Newgrounds first, I believe.
You didn't put it on your website first?
I don't even know if I had a website by that point, or like a real one.
Yeah.
I had Google Sites like when I was in 8th grade or whatever that I would put shitty HTML games on that took me an hour to make. But I put it on there and it was still pretty rough around the edges by that point. But like, I knew that I probably wasn't going to completely finish it, and technically I still haven't. It's like version 0.95 or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll put it up now, and that'll be it. People will play it, and it'll be cool. I'll get some feedback.
Putting something out there to just learn from.
Yeah. Based on,
getting other people's opinions, especially on Newgrounds, where people will be honest with you. They'll give you good feedback. Yeah. In the sense that you can grow from it.
Yeah, and some things were like useless. Like I had like someone said, "Can you make more safe zones?" I have no idea what the fuck that means. Yeah. I don't know if you meant like maps or like an area where you can just camp.
Which you can't.
Yeah, you can't. They'll always find you. But anyway, oh yeah, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically just COD Zombies but top down.
Like SAS, we talked about that.
Yeah. So,
but it looks like
Hotline Miami.
Yes.
Which it still is my favorite game of all time. Hotline 1 and 2. So I put it on there and ended up getting daily 3rd place.
Yeah, you got the medal.
Yeah, and people really, really liked it. They were like, "This is really fun."
You still get a lot of plays every day, right?
I get like 15 plays a day still.
Yeah.
But at my peak, I was getting 1,000 plays a day.
Yeah.
With probably like 10 reviews a day at my peak. And like, that was a lot. Because it's like, there are so many people playing this game that like 10 people a day are willing to spend however many minutes like writing all this, telling me they had a lot of fun with it, and that meant a lot.
Which you had some bugs whenever you first
Yeah. And there were like bugs I introduced later, trying to add new features.
Yeah.
But people were willing to work with me on that, and like I responded every time I fixed a bug, and they'd go back and they'd update their review to 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever. And that was just really, really cool to me. I ended up sharing it on the Hotline subreddit, and of all places for him to message me, Tom Fulp ended up replying to that post on the Hotline subreddit.
Oh, on the Hotline?
Yeah.
I figured it was from Newgrounds.
Yeah, no, he found it there for some reason, and he was like, I just played it. It's a lot of fun. He didn't know that there was a mystery box, so he was just playing unarmed.
That's awesome.
But he ended up following me on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, Tom Fulp fucking played my game and followed me because of it.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, on his own goddamn website.
Followed you.
Yeah. And
man is famous.
Yeah, I ended up DMing him, and I was like, hey man, ever since Vestavia blew up, Newgrounds has been my go-to place to share games that I make. It has been a hugely positive experience, and most importantly, I was just surprised that you liked it. And I told him, like, I played the Room game, the Room tribute game, because I fucking loved that. Some other things that he made. And he got back to me, and he was like, heck yeah, man. We just, like, started talking. I mentioned how Newgrounds doesn't have a good payout, because it doesn't pay creators that well. But
which, I mean, it's nowhere near what its peak was anymore.
Yeah.
It peaked in the early days of the internet.
Yeah, in, like, the early 2000s, it was, like, top 10 websites.
Yeah, easily.
But, yeah, I didn't put anything on there for money. If I wanted to, I'd put it on Steam.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, he said he was, like, working on trying to get monetization better to better pay creators.
A lot of, he was in a podcast, the one that I like a lot, because a lot of those guys were Newground guys.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were employees there. 2 of them are working on, Nightmare Cops, his next game. Yeah. And he was on there. I think he was only on 1 episode, and it was the season 1 finale. And they asked him, like, I guess what one of his biggest regrets with Newgrounds was, and it was the monetization. Them allowing porn was on the website, like porn art and such, adult content, hindered them, but also made it what the website was, where people could post whatever and be comfortable and have that community. But at the same time, they were making the sacrifice of being able to monetize as well, because companies weren't going to advertise and such.
Yeah, they don't want to be associated with all that. Yeah. That's fine. It is an inherently anti-commercial website.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to make money, Newgrounds is not the place to do it. But
yeah, like, it's a good place if you want feedback and community.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it's
like, all about.
Yeah. Which it just sucks. Huh?
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. But no, just the fact that you had a conversation with the creator of Newgrounds, he played your game, he liked it. Yeah, and you said you're gonna put a demo of Vestavia Hill Showdown on there, right?
Yeah, I am. Once I get around to it.
Yeah,
progress has been slow lately, but
it's for good reason.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like, I was 16, 17 making Vestavia 1, and all that happened. Then the thought occurred to me, like, this could be my peak.
Yeah, it would suck if it is, but I don't know. I think Vestavia Hill Showdown is going to be good.
If I can actually like manage to stick to a consistent work schedule, then it'll be 10 times what the first game was.
Yeah, and I would, it would be awesome to have Tom Fulp on.
Yeah, it would.
Like, I've thought about reminding you to like message him again, reach out, and maybe see if we could.
Yeah, I meant to say, I was going through all my old documents, and I found that list we made of potential guests to try to get on. What was his name? CB Walker?
Yeah.
He never responded to my email.
Did we send it?
We did.
Okay. I thought the email, like, something happened where it didn't. Did you retype it?
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think it ever went through. There was a thing with it that.
Yeah, I remember now.
So yeah, we need to email him again. I really think we could get Lusick easy. Dude's doing nothing.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, you should message Tom.
Yeah.
Because if we got Tom, that would kind of, I mean, just being like Tom Folk featured, like.
Yeah. I just think it'd be cool to talk to the guy.
Yeah, for sure. He
with my voice.
Everything I've like heard him on or like seen where he's talked, he's a very chill guy. He's a busy guy, so I mean,
yeah,
maybe not different time zone, but if we had him on and we had a set time, I know me and you would be punctual. We would make that shit happen.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't miss that opportunity.
That is like the biggest opportunity.
Yeah.
We would be like, when are you available? We're good. Like I work every other week, so as long as it's on my off week.
Yeah, I want to clarify, like, for people who may not be that familiar with it, the internet would be a very, very different place without him.
For sure.
I mean, you think about the fact that Donkey got his start on Newgrounds.
A lot of people got their start
Ego
on
Raptor did.
Yeah.
All you Game Grumps fans, you wouldn't have Game Grumps without this guy. I'm not a Game Grumps fan, but yeah, no. There's so many people who got their start on Newgrounds, and at the very least, it inspired a lot of people. It would be a very different world without it, hands down.
For sure. No, it would be amazing to have him on. Yeah. Like not just for the notoriety, just seeing how cool of a guy he is.
Yeah, I want to know his thought process behind like the things he makes. That's like the big question, right, for any artist.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you
tick?
What makes the gears turn? You know?
Yeah. He just seems like a really chill guy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our goal. That's our goal, at least by the end of the year.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I need to drink my protein shake.
Yeah.
It's starting to sediment.
Yeah, it'll separate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to gain weight. Trying to put on muscle. Which I'm fairly built.
What's your BMI?
It's low. It is
Mine's
low.
Really low.
Yeah, I imagine you're probably almost in the unhealthy.
Yeah, I am actually underweight according to it. I'm like 17.1.
I want to say I'm like, what is it, 18?
I believe it's 18 and a half. Above that is like normal.
Isn't it? Doesn't it change per weight and height?
Yeah, but that's how it's calculated.
Yeah. No, I'm like maybe 2 of the squares above, so like a point or 2, but like at the bottom of being underweight, overweight, and healthy. I'm like barely healthy.
Which calculate it on?
Yeah, I'll calculate it now.
I'll go and pull it up.
I don't want people knowing how tall, and I also don't know my exact height.
You're probably like.
I'm like 5'8" and a half. No, I'm probably realistically like 4'8", 4'9".
Yeah.
I want to say I'm 4'10". It's what I've always wanted to be, but I'm pretty sure I'm 4'8" and a half at least.
Yeah, me and Will look kind of goofy in public because I'm like 6'7". So like when we walk side by side.
Yeah, my 4'8" ass. Eventually, when we get fan art, I want people to draw me super small beside you and you super tall.
Yeah. But I'm built like a damn toothpick.
And I'm
muscle bound.
Yeah. That's like the where do you work out is like the library, and it's the dude with the big head, tiny head, and okay, so my height is that, and my weight is that. And I am 20.7.
Not bad.
I don't know where that puts me on the chart.
Can I tell a little story really quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Unrelated. You know those car insurance scams they call you all the time?
Yeah. By the way, 20.7 is normal weight is 18.5 to 25. So I'm, like I said, pretty much I'm a little above the bottom on normal weight.
Yeah. But yeah, car insurance scams, they call you all the time.
Yes.
I got one today. I didn't listen to the automated message. I just pressed 1 and hoped it would take me through, and sure enough it did. Lady picks up. She goes, "Hi, we're calling about something extended warranty on your car. Can you please give me some details on it?" And I was like, "I drive a 1912 Model T Ford." Lady goes, "Okay. Do you drive any cars that were manufactured between the years of 2006 and 2013? And I said, "Maybe." Lady goes, "Okay, can you give me some details on it? Like year, make, and model?" And I go, "Yeah, it's blue."
Jackson is like the king of prank calls. Like, there was another car insurance scam that was like, "Hey, what do you drive?" And he was like, "I drive a 2005 Ford Taurus."
I just made that up.
Yeah.
I don't know why Ford Taurus was the first car to jump.
Yeah, that's like, oh, dude.
I've never driven a Ford in my life.
Wyatt drove a Ford Taurus.
Of course he did.
They're gross. he drove one of the bubble models where it's like ugly.
I want to correct that. I've driven my mom's Mustang. That's all.
Nice Mustang.
Very nice.
It's not new, but it's like it's one of the good generations.
It's like 2008.
Yeah. But Jackson has so many classic like prank call like recordings.
Yeah.
Poor Kurt. We need to throw that in an episode at some point.
Bonus feature at the end. We can do it at the end of this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Poor Kurt is classic.
Yeah, Poor Kurt stars me and Kurt, and a guest stars Gabe.
And you say your name is Reggie Fils-Aimé. So technically it's Reggie Fils-Aimé, Gabe, and Kurt.
Well, it stars me as Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah, starring Jackson as Reggie Fils-Aimé.
And Kurt as Kurt.
That's where the so what's your card number? And you go 2.
It was like
7.
I think I started at the high end of the digits.
Yeah, you did.
6.
7.
Something like that. I can't remember.
And that's when I think he figured it out. He's like, who are you buying for? Me. My dad. He said it was a fucking fashion statement.
Yeah. Like near the end, I could tell like he knew it was fake, and he like asked for me to double check the numbers on my card, and I was like, "Let me go through my papers," and you just hear me rummaging around, and then I start reading them off Game Genie codes for fucking Mario.
We've made many prank calls.
Yes.
It's one of the things we will do probably every other time we hang out, except for recently when we're hanging out and doing like the podcast and stuff.
Yeah, when we're staying at one another's house, it's almost always going to happen.
Yeah. We will always call states away. Usually because by the time we do it, it's late.
Yeah.
So like we've called like.
Usually it's late at night, so we have to call like a McDonald's or something that's open 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if we can do it during the day, then like GameStops.
GameStops are go-tos.
Yeah, they are the best.
Which there are a lot of GameStops where dudes like handle it really well. Like cool guys typically work it. Well, cool as in like they'll handle a prank call.
Yeah, leather jackets, ripped jeans, smoking a cigarette,
glasses. They ride motorcycles.
Yeah, those are the types of dudes that work at GameStop.
Yeah, but then you call like, dude, I actually follow a guy on Instagram that we prank called in a Target, and we'll steal jokes from like donkey prank calls where it's like, hey, you got this video game, and he'll look it up. Like we had one dude at like a Target or a Walmart, and we just had him looking up a ton of like old vintage games. I was like, no, we don't have that. We got it online. You can find it online. And we're like, okay, hey, I got another one. Can you see if y'all have Mario 64? And he'll be like, okay, I'll be right back. And we would sit online laughing our asses off over the dumbest thing ever. And he'd come back and be like, nope, we don't have that one either. And then by like the fourth one, he was like, okay, stop. Like he was pretty much like, okay, we're done here.
Yeah.
But no, prank calls bonded us pretty well.
I'm trying to think of a good prank call I did.
Dude, the last 2 episodes have just been storytelling. And I think it's a vibe.
Can you think of any good prank calls we did together?
We've called a couple pizza places.
Dude, I prank called a pizza place while you were in there getting pizza.
Yes, that was the best. Like I was like Jackson. Like I had this plan for like months. I always forgot to bring it up to you, but there was a couple weekends where I would go to this pizza buffet Whenever I got off work on Friday, I'd get a to-go pizza and I'd just go home and eat it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very like gamer thing to do.
Very broken man, broken spirit.
I think I was real broken at the time. And it was fun. It was really good pizza. Spinach Alfredo is what I would always get.
Gross. Anyway.
I was going to do. I went to do a pickup, and I feel like I got 2 pizzas, but I think it was because a buddy was coming over.
Yeah. We should preface the story by saying they also have an arcade there.
They do, because that ends up coming in.
Yeah.
And so I was on Discord with Jackson about to go into the pizza place. I was like, oh my gosh, Jackson, now that I have you here. No. I was driving there and I called you on Discord. Yeah. I was like, I have had this plan forever. Will you please call this place while I'm sitting in there? And I've always wanted to be in a location when they're getting prank called.
Yeah. And
me knowing what's happening. And so I was sitting there waiting on my pizza, and we sound like assholes. Yeah. Like, there are some people that hate people who do prank calls.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I'm not even 20 yet. Cut me a break.
I was 18. So but I wasn't doing the prank call. I was sitting in there waiting on my pizza. I'd just talked to the girl. She was pretty nice, but
is it the one that I went to school with?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, she picks up the phone. I think you didn't end the Discord call. I was still in the call with you, so I could hear both sides of the conversation.
Oh, could you?
I feel like I know at one point you did leave the call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was listening, and Jackson, would you like to do the voice you used?
I was just doing a Boomhauer impression.
Exactly.
Basically, I think it started out by me being upset that my nephew or something lost his quarters in the machine. I can't even remember, but
No. So I actually went home first, and we were talking, and we were already doing prank calls or something, because you had already previously done, if not this was on the way there, you were calling other places doing prank calls.
Yeah.
And because that's how the arcade machines came up, right? Or was that after, on the way back, you started calling other places?
I can't even remember.
It was one of the two. But you called this place.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there. She picked up the phone and immediately could barely understand you.
Yeah. I was like, God dang old man, playing the damn play the Terminator 2 game. You make out probably one word every few seconds that I'm saying. And it eventually turned into me asking where I could buy an arcade machine.
I watched her. She started shaking her head. She was immediately was done with it.
Yeah.
Because she just couldn't understand you.
I got past to 2 different people.
Yes. She walked over, handed the phone to one dude, and he couldn't understand you.
Go figure.
He took you all the way to the office, and the manager's office. So I couldn't see the phone no more. So I couldn't see what was actually happening, visually.
Yeah, and then I went up to the boss battle, the big manager.
And he was he understood you somewhat.
Yeah. And he was being very patient.
Yeah. From what I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
And did he hang up on you, or did you hang up?
We both said goodbye.
Okay.
It was on good terms.
A few minutes passed. I was texting Jackson because I wasn't going to talk to you because I was sitting in there.
Yeah.
I was like, call him again. I was like, you got to call him again. She picked it up. Jackson immediately went back to talking about the Terminator, video game.
Yeah.
And she's like, he called back. And I think she might have put you on hold and was like, that fella called again and was talking about, here, take the phone. And so she walked the phone back to the office, and you were probably talking to him again for a little bit, and then ended up hanging up. But that was easily the best prank call situation, because I was there watching it happen. It was pretty funny.
I remember one time I called some McDonald's, and I was trying my best to do the Boomhauer voice.
Yeah.
Where I was just talking really fast, and the dude matched me. He was speaking just as fast back, threatening to kick my ass. I was like, drove through goddamn drive-thru, man. I can't even get my damn ham sandwich.
Man, I'll beat your ass.
Dude was like, come on through the drive-thru again. I'm going to whoop your ass. I was like, damn, he was ready.
Yeah.
He deals with these people on a daily basis.
But
it was like Tennessee, of course.
a very classic McDonald's prank call that we do.
Yeah.
And Ethan picked up on this a lot, my little brother.
Mhm.
And he would do this, but he actually really likes the Shamrock Shake.
Yes.
Anytime we call McDonald's, regardless of if it's the season or not,
Yeah.
we'll call in the middle of summer, we'll call in the middle of winter. We'll be like, hey, y'all got the Shamrock Shake? And go, no, we only have that during St. Patrick's Day. And we'll be like, what you mean? I can't come in and get a Shamrock Shake? Like, no, we don't have the Shamrock Shake. And
You know,
we were like adamant that they should have the Shamrock
my
Shake.
favorite go-to response whenever anyone like throws us some trouble is just why.
Yeah.
You just ask why and nothing else. And it's like, that's a good question. Why don't we have the Shamrock?
Yeah, have it all year, dude. People want their damn Shamrock Shake. You wanna do some improv? You wanna do
Improv
prank call improv
right now?
right now?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Here. I'll be the clerk.
Okay.
I'll be the clerk.
Okay. Bling bling.
Hello, this is 7-Eleven.
Hey man, y'all open?
Yes.
How late are y'all open?
11.
We have your phone number. We're tracking you. The police are on their way to your house right now.
No way.
Yes way.
Tell them to bring a damn Little Caesars.
Okay, sir. Well.
The funniest thing about prank calling on Google Voice is anytime people threaten me by knowing that I have my number or knowing they have my number.
It's a fake number.
Yeah, I can call their bluff every time. I'm just like, no way.
Yeah,
do?
they really don't.
Yeah.
And
And that's the wonderful part about it.
that's the thing. We're from SoCal, and they think you're from New York when they see that.
Yeah, 631 number.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it out one day.
You're...
My fake number.
Dude, that would be really awesome for, like, call-ins.
Yeah.
We could do a whole call-in podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people would call in, but
I mean, we'll do it after we have Tom Fulp. So
Yeah.
that it's like, hey, come on in.
yeah, and just like let it be known that like we
We're-
do edit things in post.
Yeah,
so,
we'll cut shit if...
yeah, if you're just like trying to be an obvious troll, it's not.
Yeah.
You're just
Which,
wasting your time.
which we've already mentioned that very early, like...
yeah.
That if we ever have anyone on, that, you know...
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about like having a spontaneous fucking
Yeah, we can just
Random
cut that
person.
shit if we want.
yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to try and have Colin back on soon.
Yeah.
I-
Next one I think we discussed would not be political. It would just be
Yeah.
Colin talking.
Colin's a cool dude. He can talk politics. He can talk
We
anything.
can talk astrology.
Yeah, I'm single, so I'm like casting my net, and the fact that I run a podcast is not something I try and bring up whenever I'm like talking to a girl. So I don't. It's not something that if I just meet a girl, I don't want her to base her entire concept of me on the first episode, especially.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what they would probably listen to, if not the most recent.
Yeah.
And so this one girl that I've actually kind of been talking to, it typically comes up at a certain point because it's a part of my weekly routine. It's like, hey, I'm not really gonna be able to talk recording a podcast. I usually say I'm recording, and then if they ask, I'll be like, it's a podcast. And I try not to.
Sex movie.
Yeah,
Recording
sex movie. I try not to, like, if they ask for it, I'll be like, maybe. But
Yeah, I've shared the podcast with most people except my family,
yeah.
with the exception being Colton because he's mentioned pretty much every episode.
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Colton loves the podcast.
Yeah.
I sent him a couple links, and he didn't ever start listening until
The thrift store episode.
yeah. And then he listened, and he listened. I assume he listened to last week's episode because he messaged me after it came out, and he had listened to it.
Yeah.
So we have another loyal fan. Most of our loyal fans are just our close friends, which I expected. We
Yeah.
don't do a lot of marketing, which we should.
Yeah. I mean, marketing is difficult. It's an entire other beast.
If we were big people, we would have a big podcast following. But
Yeah.
once we become big people, Eventually, maybe. I'll just start getting people to plug our podcast.
Who?
Ethan Streams.
I mean, the only problem with that, it's like marketing a Steam game on Instagram. Like, it's the wrong demographic.
Yeah, for sure. I think people that watch streams probably also listen to podcasts.
I think podcasts are just their own thing. Like,
yeah,
there's a good chance of crossover, but like,
there's really not a good way to grow a podcast unless you are already big.
You can pay for Spotify ads, I guess. Which,
yeah,
I mean, that's
people they want to listen to their music. They don't want to like get interrupted and hear about like a podcast on Spotify.
That's the thing that I think if we did something that's like actually funny, just like a little skit, and paid money for that, then maybe it would convince some people to be like, these guys ain't too bad. Then they're going to listen to the podcast and be disappointed. But like that doesn't matter. We got them.
yeah. They listened. That counts for us.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, hey, exponential. More people that listen, the more people that are going to listen. You know.
Yeah. Tell a friend to tell a friend is what I always try and say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've come a long way from just the first episode. I think we've definitely fallen more into it.
Yeah, and
I'm ready for I always fall into it of just talking about very meta about the podcast.
Yeah, the thing is though, it's like I feel no more natural than I did on the very first episode.
Yeah,
it's always just been this very organic process of just talking.
But yeah, it's just me and you. We've been friends for years, so
yeah.
But once again, meta.
Imagine if we were like acquaintances and we tried to do this.
Yeah, if we had tried to start this right away, would have failed.
Yeah, it'd just be like uncomfortable, I assume.
Yeah,
you gotta
have rapport.
Yeah,
which that's the thing. Bringing on guests that we don't know, that's where we're actually gonna have to prepare. Like with Tom, I assume we need to have at least like 10-15 questions to where if we're not talking about shit, we need to be like, so here's this and this. I think we could come up with questions for him. We could easily come up with questions for CB Walker. Like we've been fans of him for so long.
First question, is this a bodega?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would put on a character. I would almost ask him to. And then Lusick, I feel like just his raw chaotic energy itself.
Yeah.
Those are like the big three that we want to try and get on first for sure.
Random thing. You want to talk about the theme for the podcast? Just like the intro and outro music? Because it's for what's supposed to be a comedy-centric podcast, it's sort of an interesting choice that is...
I only listened to a bit of it. I can't remember. Was it the one I picked out?
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I listened to, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, the thing is, I sent Will like...
Three tracks?
I thought it was more than that.
I only remember 3, but probably.
Yeah, I sent a good number of songs that I had just made in the past week, and I was like, these are songs that I've not put anywhere. I haven't put it on my SoundCloud or Spotify or anything. They are perfectly free for us to use. And there were a few high-energy tracks, but he ended up settling on this very slow sort of ambient orchestral thing, which I think the MP3 was called like To Be Completely Out of It, because I made it when I was like really fucking tired and I just wasn't using my brain. But yeah, why'd you pick that one?
I think it's the energy I feel when we're recording. It's like I don't ever feel like we are labeled as a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
And I think we're funny guys. I think that was our intentions. But like if you listen to comedy podcasts, sometimes they aim to be a bit funnier.
Yeah.
I feel like we think everything we say to each other is kind of funny.
Yeah.
We'll usually laugh at one another, but like typically in the grand scheme of things, when we're recording, it's very mellow. Like we're not like the skits or we don't do any skits. We don't. Yeah. I want to try and improv more.
I'm not that good at improv, or I feel like I'm not.
So. I feel like in the improv you are. I think I wouldn't say you're only as good as who you're playing off of, but who you're playing off of does have a really, really big impact on your improv. And if you're playing off someone that you can read and you have good chemistry with practice, like it's like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
which we could do practice improv over Discord.
Yeah.
But it's different face to face. Yeah. I would have done theater if we had it.
I was technically in theater, but like, my English teacher was just really cool, and I was in yearbook the year prior, and I couldn't be in it this year.
Mm-hmm.
But our theater teacher and the guy over yearbook is the same guy, so I was like, could I sign up for theater and just do yearbook work? And he said yes. So I ended up going in there, and I sat at a computer instead of everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even end up doing anything for yearbook. I legitimately just like made music because he let me download FL Studio on one of the computers.
Yeah.
And I did that for an hour every day. I mostly did Jumbox, which is like a chiptune website.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten very, very into Jumbox. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I tend to say that a lot, where it's like I try to find ways to do things I actually care about.
Yeah.
Instead of like, forensics work or whatever I have in school, because it's like those things are not going to further me in whatever I want to do in life.
Yeah. It's not what you intend on doing.
Yeah, like
you have no passion for it.
Yeah,
like actual passion.
I plan on going into computer science, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I was telling someone else, I am actually furthering myself by trying to cheat the online system for school. I'm furthering myself more in what I actually want to do by doing that than actually like reading a language paragraph and like
dissecting it. Yeah.
Like it's not what I'm supposed to be doing, but
realistic. That's the fucked up thing about the American school system.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't matter what you are aiming to do with your life. You have to do all this. You're required to do all this to graduate, to move on.
Yeah.
So you cheating the system really is more beneficial to you than actually doing what the system thinks is best for you.
Yeah, because like I'm just trying to figure out what makes these websites tick, and that's like way closer to what I would actually be doing than whatever else.
Yeah.
But
one thing that I did want to mention, along with school, it was in the famed Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on everyone obviously growing up is going to learn their natural language, the language they speak in their country, the language their family speaks, all that. Some people grow up speaking two languages, either based on where they live and their family or other reasons. Like people in Canada learn French.
Yeah.
People in Ireland learn English and Irish.
Yeah, most people all over the world learn English to some degree.
Yeah. Marcos is from Argentina.
Yeah.
He's had English classes for several years now.
Yeah.
To break the language barrier down, did you know that there are multiple sign languages? Like,
I did not.
There's like I think an American Standard, and then there are a couple different sign languages. As soon as I found that out, I started thinking, why the fuck is there not a single sign language, and why doesn't everyone learn that from an early age?
Mm-hmm.
If every nation agreed, okay, in our mandatory schooling system, we're going to have like 2 or 3 years of sign language and have refreshers every couple years so everyone knows sign language. If everyone knew sign language and every nation taught the same sign language like courses, essentially, no matter what language you spoke, you could communicate with someone else.
Yeah.
Because sign language, just based off of how it works, you don't need dialect patterns. You don't need...
There's no worry of pronunciation.
Exactly. There's no... Sentence structure would be the same because you're teaching the same course. Essentially. I assume languages like Turkish and Spanish, their language syntax, their sentence structure is not the same as English. But if you teach a single syntax for sign language, it's like when you're talking in sign language, this is how you communicate things.
Yeah.
If everyone had that course, everyone would be able to communicate with someone regardless of natural verbal language.
Yeah. And I think the important thing to note there is that you do keep it simple. You don't need to be able to convey complex ideas and thoughts with this. It is just like the bare minimum, maybe like 200 words and phrases.
Yeah, it's like, hey, where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
My name is pretty much learning names.
I wouldn't even put names.
No.
You don't need names. You just need,
where's the bathroom? How do I get here? How do I get there?
Yeah.
Food, water,
things,
directions maybe.
we
Like,
already have that to some degree with like shaking your head and nodding.
Yeah.
Waving is hello. Things like that. That's all universal, and that's great. If we just like expanded upon that, I think that would be wonderful, because it's like, that's things that anyone can learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's universal concepts that apply to anybody.
Yeah.
And it would not really interfere, because like once you start trying to actually like build sentences and stuff with sign language, then it's like you worry about it conflicting with syntaxes, like you said.
Yeah.
Because in some languages, like the order of subject and predicate is flipped.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Things
Spanish,
like
I believe.
Yeah, so you could avoid that entirely if you just had a gesture to symbolize whatever.
Yeah.
If you had a gesture for food, then you have that, and you can like point to your mouth or whatever and be like,
but
hungry.
In a different language, pointing at your mouth may mean, or someone may assume, whatever word you're saying, pointing at your mouth can either mean speaking, it can mean food, it can mean water.
Yeah.
It can mean like your mouth is like you pointing
We need
at
a
your
standard.
mouth. Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be very vague, but if you have a certain gesture for eating, or like tilting a cup typically means drink.
Yeah.
Rubbing your belly may mean food.
Mm-hmm. Could also mean sick.
It could. So that, like, yeah, a very basic, like, I'm trying to convey this.
Yeah.
Like conveying like either if someone's wounded, conveying get help. There's not a good way.
Yeah, get help is a very good one, because like if someone is like screaming,
Yeah.
that could mean like you can tell if they're like worried or something, but you can't actually tell what they need.
Yeah. So like body language is a huge thing that goes a long way. Like and that's something I learned today, is you can really tell with a patient if something's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because they'll start pacing or something along those lines.
Yeah, like this entire concept is like we're already partially there, and just because of human nature.
Yeah.
But then
even slightly expanding upon it.
Yeah.
Having a small course in it.
Yeah.
That is universal.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it would not take that long. It wouldn't be its own course or anything in school, like all through like math or science.
It's like when you're in elementary school, you have one teacher, you learn cursive. It would essentially be like cursive, where it's like 1 year you learn it.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple thing that it would be surprising if it didn't stick. It's like cursive, you learn once. Some people may get rusty on it, but you have a basic idea.
Yeah, fucked up thing about that, we took a 1 week cursive course.
Really?
In second grade. I had strep throat. I never learned cursive in school. I had to teach myself cursive.
Cursive is dead. Like I use it to sign. That's it.
Yeah. My signature is just like capital J, capital D, and everything else is scribbles.
Yeah. I methodically do my signature, but my last name is loop.
Yeah.
Like, so it ends up, everything looks the same, and then a Y.
Well, do you put the fourth at the end?
Depends on
what you should consistently do it, because that looks fucking cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an hour and a half. We'll have to cut it down, so we're gonna end it here. Thank you for sticking around. If you stuck around this far, Jackson, what's the comment of the episode?
Newgrounds, all lowercase.
At Tom Folk. Yeah. So, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Have a good night. Have a good day whenever you're listening. Take it easy. and we love you. We love our listeners.
Yes.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't comment or give us feedback directly that I don't just appreciate more than anything.
Yeah.
Like having feedback for this, something we do once a week. I think about the podcast most of the week. It is something that sits on my mind. It's because it's something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Like starting this new job. Well, I bought a whole ass marker board with a calendar on it.
Drew Homer on April 28th.
Yeah.
It's Homer Day.
I wrote down my schedule as far as I know it. That helps me just know when I'm working. I'm starting to work out, so I was putting days that I plan to go to the gym on, but I bought it just so I could write it down. It's like
a long outro.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I mark the days that I'm working, mark the days that I'm off, and I was like, we're good to record here.
Yeah.
Like podcast is one of the biggest priorities for me right now because it's something I'm so passionate about.
Yeah.
And so when someone enjoys it, takes the time out of their day to listen to it, it just means the world. Like, I know that people are enjoying what we're doing. So even if they didn't, I would still be doing this.
Yeah.
It's a good vent. It's a good therapy for us. But yeah, no, all that to say, if you actually listen, you sit through it, you find us entertaining. I don't know how. Thank you. Like it truly means a lot.
Yeah, it's just a stream of consciousness, but
that's
what we are.